favor. This is one more, please. Bienvenidos a Otra, por favor.
Otra, por favor.
Episodio número 52.
52.
Man, it's 52 already. How do you feel today, Koke?
I feel amazing, man. As I was telling you a little bit before, started recording, finally got to get back into my routine of eating right, working out after about a month or 3 weeks of not really doing what I love, hitting my routine, playing soccer, none of that. So I feel great, man. I've been up since 4 a.m.
Míralo.
But I feel like I got tons of energy, man. I'm excited for this episode, excited for this podcast. Finally, an intimate conversation with Ricardo.
Always intimate conversations with Ricardo. Yeah, that's good, man. I'm glad. We're actually, this is going to be a short episode today because what we did is we changed up a bit in the studio. We expanded the black because once we got 4 people, it's usually there's a part where you can see the white walls. So we don't have that problem anymore. Hopefully,
minor improvements to the studio, man. But it's fun. I love working on this space with you, and hopefully our audience can tell that we really care about what we do here and the image we portray. And I'm excited to kick this off, bro. How are you feeling? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. It's been a pretty busy week, but it's one of those weeks where Friday you actually kind of feel relaxed. And even though you got all this stuff going on, you feel accomplished. You feel like you did something. So the reason why I'm saying that is there was an event yesterday at Antoine's. It was called Austin con Uvalde, and it was the person that put together most of the work was Monica Maldonado with MAS Cultura. And
former guest on the show.
Right. And it was beautiful because a lot of the bands were there showing support, and also the people that came in. So it was pretty cool. I got to do the pictures for the event, and I'm working on editing right now. So I'm gonna get them out, and I like seeing reactions, and like especially when people are singing, that's like a good reaction to see. So that's one part I enjoy, just seeing, like, say someone like Leslie Reinaga on her what's that on her what's that one word when you're in your place,
in your
element, there you go,
in her true stage as a performer, as an artist.
And she did a great job. Also Kiko Villasan, another one that did good. So it's pretty good, man.
That's awesome. So as you know, on this podcast, we like to talk about football, life, and culture. Mm-hmm. So Richie's touching on a very excellent point, man. Austin does a lot of wonderful things, and this one in particular, such a great cause, giving back to the affected people of Uvalde who went through that horrible tragedy, horrible massacre. But through that, there's been a gathering of a lot of communities, and this one in particular in Austin, joining music,
right,
is truly special. What was it like? What was it like being there?
Dude, it was fun. There was a couple of times, like when they Leslie's did a Cucurucu Paloma. That one, you can tell, hit the spot for several people.
Gave you goosebumps?
It gave goosebumps to a lot of people. So, it's one of those that, you had to take a picture, but then you have to, like, just sit back and enjoy that moment. So, it was very Austin-like, because it was Antoine's, and Antone has the theme in the background was red. So, the lighting made it very intimate. Mm-hmm. Which is, when you have something like a background that is red, I feel like sometimes it gives you a little more of an intimate, calm, a little warm sense of when you're there, like a relaxing thing. Like it feels como que estás más centrado y entrado.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the red is very, very soulful, loving, sensual color, man.
Yeah, man. It represents a lot of good things.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. But that's great. I'm happy you were there to capture those moments, and I can't wait for you to share some photos out to the people to see for me and for the other people that weren't there.
Yeah, well, I'll share them out, and then well, we'll see how it looks, but it looks great, just from without any edits.
Shout out to Leslie Reinaga for performing, and also La Jefa, Monica Maldonado for
dude, she was like the jefa yesterday, dude.
for all she did to put that together. I know that stuff takes a lot of work to coordinate, but I know that's her true passion on making bridges and helping out communities, especially our Latino community in times of need.
Right.
Through art, which is incredible. But man, that's great. Antoine's is another historical spot here in Austin. You know, it's cool that
known
that
for
was
the
setting.
blues and soul.
There you go.
So, a lot of when you walk in, there's a lot of pictures of famous jazz and soul players. So it has like this pretty cool vibe. Even I got the chance to be in the green room, and it looks like there's been some memories in that place just overall. So that was pretty cool.
Speaking of blues and soul, how is this Texas heat making you feel, Richie? 100 degrees every day, 100 plus. What have you been doing to cope?
Dude, I have been inside working in the office, so I can't complain. But
must be nice.
I know, right? But no, dude, I feel it for people that are working outside. It could be a hard one. I mean, I go to the warehouse sometimes and it's hot in there. So it's just I hope everyone is getting their hydration on, and also just taking care of themselves, because I know there's several cooling centers in Austin, right?
Yeah, just to mention a few, all city public libraries are cooling centers. There's also the George Washington Carver Museum, the Mexican American Cultural Center, Douglas Art Center, and Asian American Resource Center. We're going to be sharing a list of cool centers. If you know anybody that needs a place to cool off, it'd be great to share, because this heat, if you're exposed for too much, I mean, it can cause a lot of things. It can cause heat dehydration and just many accidents, especially to the vulnerable populations here in Austin. So we're going to be sharing a list of that in the links to the show notes. But yeah, man, I mean, cold showers for me been helpful, dude.
I love I like taking cold showers in the summer. So that's but now when the water comes, it comes warm, and and when it's cold, you want it warm, and that's kind of like, hey man, what the heck? But hey, it's life,
Did you
can't
know?
complain.
Did you know that one of the first places, maybe the first place in Austin that had AC, is a bar on Lamar and 12th Street? It's the Arsenal Bar.
Oh really?
The Tavern.
Oh, the Tavern. Okay.
That's why it has that sign that says AC here, and it's neon. It was one of the first places that had AC.
Really?
Yeah, so that's like an icon just for having AC. And it's crazy because you think about the summer, and one of the things you think about is summer blockbusters, the movies, right?
Right.
One of the reasons that got so huge, like historically, has been because of AC. That's one of the few places that had open, accessible if you could buy the movie ticket. AC for people, and that was like a big draw. Like you'd go watch this movie and you'd cool down.
Okay.
But dude.
Okay. There's, man, Koke is a historian.
Nah.
And a poet.
No, I'm none of those things, but I do like to just trivia a little here and there.
I would say if Ernie and Maddie, they need a good backup for survey or
for trivia
nights, you can put a good fight.
Nah, shout out to them, man. Shout out to them, but
Sácala.
I was gonna get the Jorge Iturralde.
Espérame.
Hey, shout out Tocayo.
Saludos.
Saludos al Tocayo. I loved having him here last episode. That guy is, speaking of true encyclopedias of knowledge.
It's open book, man. He knows.
That guy is an encyclopedia of Austin history,
stories
of football knowledge, of just media knowledge. Much respects to him. You can catch him in our previous episode 51.
So here's the one thing, like, people in media, right? Sometimes they experience so many things, and then, like, whether it is with someone that's famous or even not famous, which is like an event, like him DJing, him, sharing about his daughter and how he gave up an offer to go to Washington and he decided not to because he wanted to stay here. Like, all of those things that there's a lot of stories, and I'm pretty sure every person that works in media, they will have something funny. Or like, oh man, he was saying last time, and I don't think he mentioned it here with us, but how in a basket, like he was doing an interview for Manu Ginobili in San Antonio for one of his friends, but he completely forgot to check on the focus of the camera. So Manu came out super blur, and that friend, they didn't talk to him ever since.
Damn, dude, to be in the same room with the legendary Manu Ginobili and interview him and then not have a focus video, that must have felt horrible. But I know he bounced back off of that.
For sure.
Like he bounced back from many things that happened in his life, man. It was a pleasure having him, man. But let's get into can we get into some football?
Let's do it.
Hey, man. So to start off with, we're going to talk a little bit of recap on Copa Tejas, and we have an excellent resource right here. My man Richie traveled with La Murga and Los Verdes, and he was out there capturing and in the whole vibe. You were on Austin FC's official Twitter. Man, you're always getting in these places of Austin FC history, man. That's awesome. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Dude, it was cool. We took 4 or 5 buses, and I went in the rainbow bus. But it was like the most colorful one.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I went in that one, like, man, that one looks cool. I want to go. So it was good because, I mean, there's other buses where there's people that I'm pretty, acquainted with and friends. So there's fun. All of them you go. And this one right here was a little more like in the calm side at first. But then there's some people there in the back that they brought out this thing called cacique. And basically it's kind of like, I think it's a Costa Rican or around the Panama. But it was smooth when you take a shot of it. So that was pretty cool. I got to, just on the way there, it was a very nice, chilled ride. Everybody having fun.
Y'all were conserving the energy for later.
Yes. I think that was a good strategy.
It's a long run. Tell us what time the day starts and what time it ends. Like how many hours of.
So we left here at 12 and arrived to Buc-ee's around 1:30. The Buc-ee's in Waco. Waco or Temple.
You got there at 1:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Got your beaver nuggets. Got your snacks.
See, beaver nuggets, I didn't get, but I got the brisket sandwich. However, I was looking for that Caesar salad wrap. That shit is good. It's so good.
You're the first person I hear talk about a Caesar salad wrap at Buc-ee's, man.
Man, it's that or the chili fish steak, the Philly cheesesteak burrito. That one's pretty good too.
Nice.
So
I tried that one.
We storm in Buc-ee's and we're all like, everybody goes to the restaurant first because that's the first thing.
What's the reaction? People like the people at Buc-ee's that work there just seeing all the fucking
workers. They were like, "Oh man, we're busy." And now we're busier. Like you can see them hustling a little extra. Appreciate them and their service. It was great. And thank you for being patient with everyone that was loud in there. So the line to go to the restaurant was long because you have 200 people. Plus, whatever customers were at Buc-ee's were already there, trying to go to the restroom. So everybody's getting snacks, getting drinks, getting beer, and then we all have to get ready for a picture in front of Buc-ee's. And the beaver, the mascot, came and took a picture with everyone.
Oh, really? There was a dress guy there?
Yeah, there was a dress guy there.
Wow.
And then we did the photo op in front of Buc-ee's, showing the sign in the background. And the beaver just comes in, and he's like, in his beaver language, he said, "I'll take a picture with them." So that was pretty cool. I ran into Ramiro was there.
Oh, Ram Sizzle.
And Ram Sizzle.
Shout out Ramiro.
I used to call him Ramizo, but like Ram Sizzle. Okay. Now I get it. So so we went to Buc-ee's, and then from that we went all the way to Frisco, which is pretty close to Oklahoma, not farther than Dallas. And just the ride there was quick because you're already having fun. You're already interacting with people. You're already just chanting and all this stuff. So we get to Frisco, and then we go to this bar. It's called Green Gator or something Gator. And, I mean, that place was packed. So it was, I'm thank you for everyone that worked there because when you go from, like, having your own customers to having 200 people walk in at the same time, you gotta have like nerves of steel because when you're a waiter,
it's like
or
that.
bartender,
It's like the meme with Jon Snow and like all the fucking horses coming.
Yeah, there we go.
He's got that one sword.
So you see that bartender with the tab like ready to pour it. So, and you have all this verdes and murgas come in and drink. So
that's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
And then
son unos locos.
Yeah, dude. And then it was a walk. We marched from there to the stadium, and the stadium, the section we're at, it was a good, I don't know, maybe 400, 1,000 people.
It was incredible. I watched the game from home, so the scenes on the television were amazing because you can see it would seem like an entire section full of verdes in Frisco Stadium. That to me, if I was a Dallas FC fan, I'd be kind of like embarrassed, like a little bit like, damn, that many opposing fans came. But not only that, you can hear the cheers and the songs and the chants.
Because you watch it on TV.
I watched it on TV.
Okay.
I could hear Austin FC over the Dallas fans at times. That was crazy. It was something to remember for the rest of your life, especially after a game like that.
Yeah. And so as we're in the game, like everybody's banter and whatnot, I'm looking at the game and we're minute 70 and we are losing by 1-0. I'm like getting frustrated. I've never been that frustrated.
Tell me how it felt though, like that the counter. You got Ariola, getting the ball through Cascante's legs and taking the shot.
It was like,
how did that hit y'all?
So it hit everyone because the game was as tough as this, right? And I felt like whenever Dallas scored, or Dallas Frisco, whenever they did that, it felt like the confidence, it kind of just like gave us a little, slap with cold water, because Austin started respecting them a little more, and they weren't being as like they weren't not competing, but they weren't being as what's another word that I'm thinking? Like I'm forgetting all the words today.
They were pressing forward.
Pressing forward, right? So they weren't contending as much as they would,
Yeah, they weren't looking for the game like they were in the beginning.
Right. So that happened because you don't want to get scored another one. Like that's the one thing. Is like when you get attacked, we also have to, not get scored. And then passes were just not being there.
Looked a little sluggish at times.
Yeah, at times it felt sluggish. So in Dallas already feels like, okay, we already got them in the back. However, something changed. Wolf came in, little Wolf.
Baby Wolf.
Owen comes in, and he put some work. And then you also had Hooves in there, also, putting in some hustle. So that one play where they scored is because Owen Wolf kind of just tapped it to Drusi, and there was a play that we actually took the ball away from Dallas in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Drusi, but Fagu comes in abierto, and Drusi sees him before he even makes the pass. That's my perception. But before that was going on, I'm frustrated because I'm like, dude, we're going to be hearing from every fan out there that is, not like hates on Austin FC. Even the fans here, we're going to be hearing it forever that we lost to Dallas and we lost the Copa Tejas again. So I'm like, no, heck no, dude. Like, yes, I want to chant and I want to scream, but I'm also mad because we got to score. So they were doing the Cuervos, and Cuervos, you're like, and then every family is far away. So everybody puts their arms to each other. I leave Ray hanging, and I feel bad because you can see in my video just like getting mad, and Ray runs to like grab my arm, and I'm like, nah, dude, we got to score a goal because I'm like so pissed. And Ray's like, he turns around, he's like, you're far away. And I'm like, and I told him, dude, my bad, dude. I look like an a-hole for not giving you the arm. So that happened. And once we scored a goal, it was like a lot of stress just released.
Just the relief.
Just the relief. And you can see in the video, everybody's just going crazy and everybody's like enjoying it. Fagu's mom was behind us, Alicia, so that's pretty cool too.
We saw your video, Richie. You look like a man that was about to, I don't know, just destroy whatever was right in front of him, man. You cheered. When I saw you cheer, I was like, holy shit, is that Richie? I'm like, oh shit, it is. Because man, I'd never seen you react in such a passionate way, but I know that's who you are. So I'm like, that's Ricardo.
Yeah. So one thing, like say, I've seen teams that I go for win championships on TV, but I've never seen a team that I go for
in person, like
win a championship in person.
Something that matters.
Yeah, something that matters
a little bit. Yeah.
And for me, it's kind of like I was so like full of emotion. Like I felt like, man, like we finally got something that's ours. Like something that we can, we can say, oh, we won this. Maybe it's a Copa Tejas, it's small, but however, it's a Copa.
It's the first step.
Yeah,
it's the first step towards being a great club that we know we have the potential of being. And, hopefully they can continue this momentum. They're a little bit over the halfway mark of the schedule of the season. The only kind of negative takeaway one of the only negative takeaways that I have from it is that we still haven't beat Dallas. So, se queda la espinita.
Yes, yeah.
We still haven't beat them.
But you're one step closer, right? Because now you tied here and you tied there. So there was like, you don't have a losing
We're closing the
streak.
gap.
We're closing the gap
for sure. For sure. No, shout out to all the team. Diego, amazing goal. Went to go celebrate with his mom.
And I'm on the way.
Huh?
And there's a video of me when I'm like on the way.
Oh yeah, you were about to bite his arm off, I think.
He was falling down, so I was helping him get up.
Oh yeah,
because I saw him like slipping, like, oh Diego, let me help you. But also grab your arm and tell you how much I love you.
That's a hilarious video, man. I think
felt so bad.
I must have rewatched it like 10 times with my wife, and she was like, "Oh my God, Richie was about to bite his arm."
I felt like, and usually like I'm very so in the stadium when I do photography, you have to be very neutral. But even whenever like say I'm, in a regular basis, I see a player like, hey, how's it going? And I say hi. But I'm not like super like fan, like, oh my God. Like, but there's only 2 times that I've done this. One was with Don Blanco, and this one with Fagu. When I saw Cuauhtémoc in person, I'm like, my idol's like right in front of me. Not even when I got to see Messi like pretty close to me, like I was like, oh shit, Messi right there. But Cuauhtémoc was one. But when I saw Fagu, dude, it was like one of our own. Like I think it was just the emotion, like him scoring, letting out like, dude, I love you, dude. Like I love what you're doing in here. Yeah. And I love, like, not you, but also I love, like, your family and what you guys have done here in Austin with everyone.
No, absolutely. We were talking about it earlier. Diego Fagundes, absolute fan favorite, one of the fan favorites for sure. He's won the hearts of everybody here. And I think it's awesome to hear him in his interviews. I think his interview with Jorge Uvalde, asking him about what he thinks about the MLS All-Star snub. Very, very humble response. Very humble guy. He's like, I'm going to keep doing my thing. Yeah. I'm happy with what I'm doing here, and I don't care. Basically, he doesn't care what they say. And it's just amazing to hear him. Like, he's very, even when asked why he hadn't taken a free kick before, if he has the capability to score, and he's like, if someone has the confidence to take it, you're going to let them take it. I'm not going to demand it. So he's very down to earth. He's performing well, and he's happy to be here, and we're happy to have him, man, and happy to have him and his family.
And also one thing, so in the midst of the passion that I've had, I took my jersey off, my Murga jersey, and I threw it in the field. And that's when so I'm like, I throw it in the field, like, oh man,
how many drinks in were you?
No, actually, in that time I was sober. Like, I was pretty sober. I was tipsy before the game. Damn. But around there, I'm like, I was good.
That was sober, Richie. Drunk Richie would have threw his pants in the field.
I would have been naked. Like, so I took my shirt off, and I'm like, oh man, you guys always give something to everyone. Now here's my gift to you. And I threw my jersey like in the field. See, whoever gets it, it's theirs. So Nick Lima picks it up. Ooh, nice. And then he takes his jersey off. But like before that, I'm thinking like, oh crap, I just threw my jersey and that's the only shirt I have, and I don't have a shirt. How am I gonna get back home shirtless? Okay, plan B, maybe buy a jersey over here or something, or buy something on the way, right?
Buy a Buc-ee's shirt.
A Buc-ee's shirt. Yeah, there we go. That's my mind. Like, well, we're gonna stop at Buc-ee's hopefully. And then Nick Nima, comes by and he picks up the shirt. And he's like, he takes the shirt. He's like, that's yours. And I was like, oh heck yeah. So then I remember Jorge saying, I want a shirt that is from an actual game that it's already sweaty and stuff. So let me go bring it. I'll be right back. Keep talking, Koke.
Oh yeah, we finally have a player artifact here. This Austin FC memorabilia jersey worn by Nick Lima from that very game against Dallas.
If you smell it, it smells like Copa Tejas. So
that's what's up.
Here it is, Nick Limas. Dale un besito y huélela. There you go.
Lima, appreciate you, bro. This is amazing.
Yeah, man. We're gonna
incredible thing to have here on the pod, dude.
Yeah, dude. And we're gonna actually, you know what we can do? We can flip it over and show his name. Bam! For the 50 followers that listen to us. And
yes, sir.
What we'll do is we're gonna frame that. We worked on the studio today so we can do some enhancements, but that's gonna be framed, and we're gonna put it behind over here. So yeah, dude, that's a pretty cool, one of those like stupid things that I've done that that okay, actually it paid off well.
Yeah, no, man, that's awesome. That's awesome that you got to experience that and eventually make the ride back to Austin, which I know was pretty late, wasn't it?
Dude, we got home at around 3:30 because I saw the camera from my house and it was like 4 when I walked in the house. I was like, damn. And I was like, dude, I hopefully can find some barbacoa around this time, but I was too tired. Like, you know what? Let's just go home.
Maybe in San Antonio.
Maybe in San Antonio, right?
But no, that's awesome, dude. Shout out to the whole team, Baby Wolf for putting in that effort, winning that ball. The whole team for playing so collective and pushing through. It's just another example of how they continue to have that mentality that even when they're down, you cannot count Austin FC out. And right. I think that's what makes this team special, and that's what the league is finally recognizing us as a true contender and force and candidate. That being said, man, we got a game coming up this Sunday at about 7, 8 o'clock against Red Bull here at Q2 Stadium versus the New York Red Bulls. What do you think, Richie? We're looking very, very good against East teams.
7 p.m., hopefully 7:20. Hopefully a little later than expected because it's still going to be hot. First of all, like I want all the players to be healthy, our players and their players. I want, the best team from each, like the best scenario for each team to come compete. That's the first thing I want from every team that comes to play here, especially because of the heat and what's going on with COVID. There's more COVID cases. I want everybody to be healthy. The second thing is I want another win, man. I want to continue that. Right now we have 6 games that we haven't lost in a row. Yeah. So I want that to be 7, and then I want it to be 8 and 9 and 10. Ahorita ya no es hasta cómo se pueda, sino es cómo queremos. How much do we really want it? And I think we keep winning. We're going to keep having that confidence. And hopefully by the time we get to the playoffs, once we make it there, we come in ready to show that, we're going to do something. And I want us to win. That's all I want.
And another great thing is that we finally have a week gap of rest, and all of our players are getting that rest and time to kind of heal themselves and just be at a 100%. So the expected projected lineup is the full squad at full strength with Brad Stuver, Nick Lima, Julio Cascante, Gabrielson, Gallagher, Danny Pereira, Drusi, Finley, Urruti, and Fagundes, which to me sounds like a squad, man. I'm excited to watch him play and hopefully continue to play with that consistency and fluidity from front to back and just that hunger. You know what I mean? That dog in them that I love to see. Interesting enough, the Red Bull, New York Red Bulls, they're from that Red Bull school of football, that collective of teams. You have
Salzburg,
Leipzig. And what characterizes these teams is that high press, that energy, and that willingness to press and play at the counter and play to your mistake. and it's an interesting matchup to think because Austin FC tends to like to build the play from the back and build through the sides and putting crosses, and to me it's going to be a great matchup. I'm excited to see it,
Right.
but I hope that through our 6 win streak we're not becoming overconfident and face this next game here at the Q2 at the Fortress with all seriousness, because we want to continue this upward trend.
So I think we like you made a good point not to be overconfident, but that goes from like say the team, the players, and I feel like the players are aware of it because every time they play a game, the only time that I felt them like they were slacking was against Galaxy. But every game they played, like they compete and they're showing like this character that is not overly confident. It's more like a respectful. Like say if you're gonna beat a team, we're gonna beat them without wanting to be showing off. Or I think our players are very good at that. It seems like they're humble. But I from the fans, I do think us fans we need to just simmer down a bit, like take it down a notch.
Yeah.
I know it's great that we're winning, and trust me, I enjoy it as much as we do. Like I enjoy it as much as you do. However, let's take it down a notch and let's the reason why I'm saying let's take it down a notch is because if hopefully we're not lose, but if we lose a game, we don't have the huge like steep downfall, emotionally. We don't go and talk shit about a player. We just say like the team lost without having to say Rings this, Pereira's this, Nick Lima's this.
Yeah.
So
think about it like a relationship, man.
Right.
If you're gonna have your highs and lows, right? You can't have it be like toxica. Austin FC can't be the toxica to you where that low is so low that you immediately start like talking shit,
Right.
You got to roll with the punches. You got to be mature about it, man. But I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
We can't be that toxicos.
There you go. That's what I was trying to say, Richie. Thank you.
But hey, man, I know where you were going. So.
Speaking of toxicos, Cecilio Dominguez, adios.
Peace.
Se va al Santos Laguna, right?
Yeah.
Los Laguneros.
Not confirmed, but it's,
Ho-
cuando el río suena es porque ahí trae agua.
Yeah. So, for what he did here at the club on the field, appreciate it. Thank you. Off the field is another story.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, well, from what I know, this kind of opens up the way for Emiliano Rigoni to come in from Sao Paulo, and former teammate of Drusi, which should be an excellent pair. But
we also played in the national team too, Rigoni.
Yeah, it's amazing that we're getting this type of quality player, but at the same time, I see the cast, the team we have now, and like how they're so solid that you always kind of like, man, I hope this guy comes in and he entra and he just fits like a piece of the puzzle and not something that creates a chasm or something like that with his personality or with his ego or something. So
we'll see him, and then we also have Corroso already here.
Oh,
so
I forgot about Washington.
El Washington de nuestra vida. Nuestro Washington. No, hey, but he has to earn it in every level, not just the Washington part, because we already have our own Washington, and it's el Bocha.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Señor Fagundes.
El papá Fagundes. Tío Fagundes, se va a decir.
No, dude, I was going to say Michelle Sanchez had a really funny tweet where she was like, Washington Corozco to Austin FC. And meanwhile, Dani Alves to Pumas. Gosh, damn.
And we could have did a little, why not? But I feel like if you bring someone like Dani, which is a player that I'm pretty sure can help everyone, how much would he bring to the team as an addition?
I would love to have Dani Alves, bro.
But it would be a good, like say when you think about it, like how much, like say how much risk would you take, and how much do you think he would give to the team? I mean, I think he would still bring something if he was to come to Austin FC. But he's going to Pumas, va allá con la UNAM, con los porros.
They are marketing the shit out of Dani Alves. I looked at ESPN Deportes earlier, and there's like 50 Dani Alves stories, and he just got there today. And I'm thinking like, sheesh. But I mean, that's the Liga MX trying to sell themselves and market themselves like to the global scale. And we were talking earlier with Jorge on the previous episode that whether we like it or not, the Liga MX for in certain markets in certain countries, national countries, is something that they respect a little bit more compared to the MLS and are willing to look at that league more. But it's an interesting conversation to think about because I was reading a Chris Bill story a little bit about how the gaffer Josh Wolf was talking about Washington Corosco and how he's not ready yet to play. He doesn't think he's ready and he made a comment something like, when you come from Liga MX to MLS, the leagues are different, and he's just not ready. So he's in a way like a low key swipe at La Liga MX, kind of saying like, yeah, he's not at the level right now to play at the MLS. So I mean, there's opinions that different
Go
back and forth,
yeah.
But I think it's because the leagues are becoming competitive in their own way in their own markets, and
yeah. So I feel like Liga MX is a good exposure for foreign players that are making the jump to Europe. But it's not a good exposure for Mexican players to make the jump to Europe. Where here in the MLS is different. The exposure for players to go to Europe is for the American players, for the academies, for the structure of how they're playing, they're being brought up, the athleticism. So, and also I think Corozo didn't come straight from Liga MX. He came from Sporting Cristal. But he wasn't playing over there.
Right.
So that's what probably when he said, he's not ready to play just because he hasn't been playing.
It's been inactive.
Yeah, he's been inactive.
And getting used to this Texas heat is a different thing. Right, and not only that, but the competition in his position is pretty strong.
Dude, I mean, a winger, because Corozo is a winger. Yeah. And then Rigoni coming in, he's a winger. But I hope Rigoni coming in brings this plurifuncional part of a player where you can play different positions, kind of like Owen Wolf. You can be in the middle, you can also be outside,
Yeah. Credit to the young man. He's definitely been one of our utility players, been able to adapt, whether in the middle, although I like him a little bit more on the right.
On the right, yeah.
Even though I think his natural position is center mid. He's got the tools. He definitely has the tools to be great. But you can tell that in certain instances of the game, maybe a little bit more maturity, un poco más de pausa, would help him out. But, man, it's exciting to just talk line by line on all these players because they all have something special, man. And one more player I just wanted to recognize was Gabrielson and what he's done to our back line and giving Julio that confidence that maybe he lacked last season, and their chemistry and pairing. Even though there's a mistake here and there, every game there's a little mistake here and there. For the most part, it's solid, man. And when it's not, Stuver has been able to
come through,
back it up, and you can just tell that those guys are vibing. So,
El Galo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I mean, anything else to touch on us? Or maybe give a prediction for this game.
2-1.
2-1?
Austin. Yeah.
Okay. 2-1. I'm going to say, I'm going to keep it at 1-0.
1-0.
Austin.
Yeah. I think there's still some goals we're going to get scored.
I think it's going to be really hot, and it's going to be like a sluggish game.
The first half.
The first half. We'll see.
Yeah, man.
We'll see.
Are you guys going to the game?
We haven't bought any tickets yet, but we're considering.
Considering last time you considered it, you were like in the box.
Oh man,
you're looking like down at the peasants.
Oh no! So I don't get it twisted. I did not purchase these tickets. It's just like a company thing that I somehow got invited for. Honestly, I think they invite me because I'm the only one who gives a shit about soccer. So I bring the vibes.
Ahí está.
Nah, but let me tell you, when you're up there, you look around and no one really cares about the game.
Yeah, that's a downfall of going to un palco. Yeah.
But when you're down there in the support section, it's otra onda.
Yeah, otro pedo.
Yeah.
No, it's weird because like you see influencers posting pictures, but like in the boxes, and I'm like, hey man, el pedo está acá abajito, vénganse.
For real, man. I promise you, I'm not an influencer.
You sure? Hey, now you have you have a TikTok.
No, tranqui.
What's your TikTok? Just let the fans know.
My
Not the fans, let the audience know.
my TikTok is at Koke Trill.
Stop.
Um, okay, just to talk about TikTok, I think it's like a crazy social media. The fact how it's just like a continuous feed, and you can just literally infinitely scroll, and there's no pause between it. So I think it really does kind of fry your brain a little bit. So one of the things that when I first started using, I was like, man, this is a little bit overwhelming. So on my page, I just try to just put things that are very calming and soothing, just like videos of like running water or like wind or something. Just relax it. And I mean, no one cares. No one's there, but that's what I do to give
Koke walking on the beach with his Speedo.
a little bit of peace to this like frenetic feed that you have on TikTok. Yeah. But speaking of TikTok, we have been talking about doing one for the podcast, and can't wait to bring those out, as well as more reels, to bring you some more of our content. But just a little way of sharing different things, since we know this is long formatted combos, that maybe you just want to know a little snippet that can get you interested into the rest of the episode. So we're going to be doing a little bit more of that. But what do you think, Richie?
Dude, it's good. I was actually listening to a podcast earlier, and they're small business oriented, and they were talking about like how they're getting these TikToks because they feel like you get more traction. Like that's true. I can see the benefit of that. So I'm actually gonna start one for shots with the Richie. I don't do much videos. That's the one thing. So I gotta start doing videos of like, me taking a picture of my cat with my camera.
But you know what I'm saying is like the format of that and a lot of social medias is it's very short, right? Yeah. Little snippets. So like
very like 1 second, 2 seconds.
You don't think it affects a little bit your attention span?
Yeah, dude. Because whenever you're looking at one like shorts, like for example, unless I'm listening to something on my phone when I'm working, not on my phone, like I say on YouTube, that's the only time I can actually hold to watch a video now. Like now, it's hard for you to watch a 5-minute video.
Right.
So anyone that watches, like for me, and I'm a very calm person that likes to pay attention. So it does because it makes you want to like
continue.
So it's good to like say you're doing something innovative inside a platform that is very busy, and everybody wants to put their stuff out there, which is good. We all want to be known. We all want to be heard. We all want to be seen. So, I mean, whatever you're doing, I'm pretty sure it's you're gonna bring some difference and maybe get some people out there like, hey, Koke, where do you take this video from? Or they'll recommend you a place to go visit. That'll be a pretty cool thing too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. I'm always open for recommendations of whatever, whether it be a cool place, relaxing place, or whatever. But man, the whole movement of TikTok, Instagram Reels, and stuff like that, it makes me really wonder, because I've noticed a lot in different sports like basketball and football, that what the younger generations are watching more, they're not watching entire games. They're watching snippets and highlights.
Right.
And sometimes, we do too. Like we forget we couldn't watch this game, so we're gonna watch the highlights. But when that's all you consume, eventually the way that sports at the end of the day is entertainment, right? Gets marketed, it's gonna be through those shorter formats. So, soccer is a sport that is a long format. There's no commercial breaks, there's no timeouts, there's no pauses in between the game. It's very fluid. So it's kind of like one of those sports that is not as easy to break up, or it doesn't break itself up. So I don't know. I've thought about that a little bit here and there, but who knows how this sport, like the sport's going to change and get marketed,
It does put some effect on you. But I hope we get a balance of both at the end of the day. Get the benefit of short films, but I mean short reels, but also get the benefit of watching something long and that has a process.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of long and process, you went to go donate blood.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yes.
How was that process for you? Because you did plaquettes, or what was that?
Platelets.
Platelets.
So one thing I like to do is giving back wise is donating blood. I used to donate whole blood, and recently I started getting into donating platelets because you could do it more often, and it's something that is also very much needed in the health community. But We Are Blood is a Central Texas organization that has several centers here in Austin. Two that I know, one is on North Lamar, and the one that I've been going to recently is closer to where I live in Cedar Park. But it's super easy. You just set up an account at weareblood.com or .org and set up a time and go, and they make it easy peasy. You're in and out depending on what you do in either 30 minutes or 2 hours. Like platelets takes a little bit longer because what they do is they take your blood out and they put it in this machine that spins it and separates the platelets, plasma, and blood, and then they put your red blood cells back in. So it's kind of a longer process. And I was telling you earlier, unfortunately, I had a bit of a bad experience, and maybe I had a little bit of an inexperienced person helping me, like nurse. So they weren't able to put my red blood cells back in. But either way, my donation was...
Le metieron tequila para que se acomode.
Nah, I wish, man. Like, nah. So I can't donate for another 8 weeks because that's a time that you can donate whole blood. But either way, We Are Blood is running a great promotion right now. That if you go donate, you get a free admission to an Alamo Draft House to go watch a movie. So
which movie are you gonna watch now with your pass?
Oh, dude, I really want to watch the new Jordan Peele. Nope.
Oh, that one looks good.
Yes,
that one looks good.
Jordan Peele doesn't miss, bro.
Oh heck no, dude.
Get Out, Us. Nope's gonna be fire. I love horror movies. I love his style of telling stories and directing. And I love just going to the movies, especially during the summer. We were talking about it earlier. Like, how do you get away from this heat? Man, go to the movies, man. Just be in that AC. And the most recent movie I saw was with my wife.
You went to see, what was the name of that movie?
It's a super weird movie. It's called Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
So he was talking to me earlier about Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, and it sounds like a kid's movie. And then I was like, dude, that's a weird movie. And you're like, actually, that's the type of movies I like to watch.
Yeah, I have to apologize to people who have ever watched movies with me without knowing me because they know that I'm going to put something weird on. But Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, it's an A24 movie. If you know anything about A24, you know they don't miss. You know they make weird shit. In 2011, 2012, there was a viral video of this little shell called Marcel. Okay. Marcel the Shell. Okay. And it was just this little shell with the googly eyes that talked. And it went viral. It was one of the viral videos back when, there weren't that many. So it kind of stuck in my memory, and then they came out with the movie. It was just super weird. But just think about it. Marcel is an adorable 1-inch tall shell who has a colorful existence and has this grandmother named Connie, who's also a shell. And one part of their community, because they lived in a community of shells, were separated. So now they live alone as like sole survivors. And basically, there's a filmmaker who stays at the Airbnb where these shells live. This sounds fucking crazy. Who decides to make a documentary of Marcel and her grandmother and his grandmother Connie. But he kind of feels emboldened to travel their little world, into the real world to find the rest of their community. And it sounds ridiculous, and I'm explaining it in a very horrible way. But what I can say about the film is 3 things. It's super touching. It's not really a kid's film because it touches on like heavy topics like death, loss, divorce. separation and things how you overcome those things in life. And third, it's super creative, like to think of a situation where there's a show that's alive and doing these things and do it in a way where it's a story that captures you, and it has humor, it has drama, and it has it just has a little bit of excitement from beginning to end. My wife and I were like laughing or like just at the edge of our seats, or just, I don't know, a little tear here and there. Okay. Man, like it blew me away a little bit. So, yeah, Marcelo Show with Shoes On. I recommend it. It's got 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
that's a high. I mean, it must be that good. But now I'm gonna watch Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh, it's based on a book, right?
Based on a book. My wife, she sent me a message like, "Let's go watch it." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." I like going to the movies regardless. So, yeah, I'm cool. So we're probably gonna watch it tomorrow, which is Saturday, if the episode released on Saturday. Nice. Will be today. So that's the plan. And I still haven't seen the new Thor movie.
Oh,
how was it, Koke?
So I went to go watch Thor after one of our recordings, which was a mistake, because if anyone knows me, I'm the biggest sleepyhead that you've ever met. I'm the guy that will probably fall asleep at the party. I'm the guy who has fallen asleep at a comedy show, which is very dangerous to fall asleep at a comedy show.
You'll get
roasted, right?
Yeah.
I was with Cantu. Man, that motherfucker was so pissed. He was like, "I can't believe you fell asleep, bro." God, I'm sorry. But anyways, yeah. So I went after this recording with our soccer buds, and I just met them up at the AMC 24 on Tech Ridge. And I got in my seat, reclined it. I was entertained, dozed in and out. Natalie Portman, okay, entertained, dozed in and out. And then at the end, I kind of woke up. I looked over, like, everybody, all my friends were enjoying it. And I enjoyed bits and pieces, but I can't give it a thumbs up. I can't give it a thumbs down because, I mean, I kind of fell asleep here and there.
Yeah, I need to watch it, man. So we'll probably have to go together or something.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday.
Preferably not after a recording.
I know, right? or it'll be like, I don't know. We'll have to plan it, but yeah, I gotta watch it in the movies before it goes out on Disney Plus. Like, I can't not watch a Marvel movie at the house. It has to be, because I like watching the Marvel movies whenever they're out, like the first day. But that weekend it was just busy, and I couldn't go and watch it because I already had told Ernie, like, yeah, I'm gonna go with you guys. But then my family was in town, so we had to, change everything. But yeah, that's the plan, to go to the movies. So one more thing that we were gonna talk about is the Stuber. He was a runner, or like in the nominee for the ESPY award, the Muhammad Ali
Humanitarian Award. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Shout out to Stuver, man. I know he's done a lot of work in the community for, I believe, fostering pets, mm-hmm. Laundry services for the underserved communities, and the LGBTQ
right. He's part. I think he's the board director of ABOW, if I'm not mistaken, or Quality Texas, one of those two. But yeah, man, him and his wife, they're putting into the work with the people. I think that's why these players are loved so much by the fans, is because you see them doing something or connecting one way or another. So that's good to see,
Yeah. I mean, what they do on the field is gonna stay in history, in that Austin FC history. But what people do in their communities, the work there is forever, and it mm-hmm. continues to trickle into the rest of the communities, and it truly inspires people to give back when they see their idols and their people that are truly doing this out of their own heart. It's great to see, man. And shout out to Stuver. I know he's had a pretty he's had his career in the MLS has had some difficulties, mm-hmm. but he's been embraced this community and been doing his part with him and his wife, and he's getting that recognition. And I think it's a good time for us to recognize him, not only for all the saves he's done, mm-hmm. which he's done a lot of saves this season. He's like one of the top goal stoppers.
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple of saves against Dallas and against what was the other team where we literally could have lost or been tied to, but he came through and la sacaba. So that's good. Against Dynamo too, he came through and did some stuff.
He does some key saves every game, dude. Every game he does some key saves, and to be performing like that in the field and to be actively participating in community initiatives outside of the field, it just goes to show you how well-rounded human being he is, and what a remarkable person he is to have on the team.
And like say he's not what's a word called facade. He's not a alter ego person that he's one way and in the pitch or in the screen or in a camera, but then you see him in person and he doesn't say hi to nobody. He acts like a jerk. No, this guy, he says hi to everybody that he meets. Like say there was that event with ABAO in Equality of Texas. He shook everyone's hand. He took a picture with every guest in there. He still did the penalty kicks because you pay to do penalty kick. But before that, he was shaking hands with everyone. It wasn't like, oh, you didn't take a penalty kick, or you didn't pay. I'm not gonna say hi. No, everyone. Like he came in. He was very. I saw him just sitting down talking to a lady, and they were just talking about like her and her family, and he was just listening. This guy right here, it's whatever he's in the field and you see in social media, he's the same way in person. But he's also a human being like everyone else. He can also sometimes have say in the past he's had like in a rough MLS time, but a lot of these players had rough patches in the past. Like you notice that, and they came here and they found like it's kind of like they were all, it's a wrong word to say probably, but they were all outcasts, or they were misfits,
or thought to be damaged
goods. But they come here and they got molded to like this team of core players that are doing great things.
Right, and that's what I really hope to see from our new signing.
Yeah, so
Rigoni
and Corozo, like knowing that when they come to Austin, they're gonna come literally to give, not just to take all the fame.
Right, man, and I mean that's you hit it on the head, Richie. Like people have seen this club, like it being so new, so fresh. There's not tons of history. Mm-hmm. Everybody that is coming in and has come in has had that chance to reinvent themselves.
Right.
So it's wonderful to see, man, and the fans, and we all recognize it. We all recognize it, and we love it, and it just makes us love this team even more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And looking forward to this Sunday. And looking forward to another win, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Let's get it.
Knocking on wood and whatever else. But anything else you want to cover?
No, man. I think we did a nice little quick episode, and hopefully next time around we're joined by a wonderful guest. But today you just get a Richie Koke special. I hope you enjoyed that, and
the intimate.
yes, sir.
We brought the lights down a bit, so you can feel like
the lights.
It's there.
Put that Luther Vandross.
Luther Vandross. There we go, in your ear.
That Marvin Gaye.
But thank you for listening to another episode. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and let us know what you think. Send us, let us know how do you, anything you want to talk about, any topic, anything that you feel like, hey, you know what, it would be a good thing we talk about. We can try to do research and touch on it. So, and everyone that has come, we appreciate y'all. Everyone that has listened, thank you. And the ones that haven't, I hope you enjoy our content, because we do it for y'all, because we like football, vida, and cultura.
Yes, sir. Much love to everybody, all the community. We can't wait to continue to bring these stories to y'all. Mm-hmm. And hasta la próxima.
Hasta cuarta también. Chao.